Hi guys, I am Miss Tucker and I am your instructor for the CPT 270. I just want to briefly go over a few things to get you started for this semester. Let me look at this way because I have two screens, so I'll come back over as well. So in the announcement section, as you see here, there are actually two textbooks that will be used. Um, Let me just scroll down, I'll come back up. So the textbook that we use is for Cengage Unlimited. And what that is, you will purchase a subscription. You can purchase a subscription for one semester for 119.99, or if you know that you will use the Cengage product for the next two semesters and you want to get it for a year, then you can pay 179. Now, once you have a subscription, then you will have access to all the Cengage textbooks and platform that other courses may use. I always say it's kind of like a Netflix. You know, you pay Netflix, you have access to all the movies. Where you pay the subscription, and every course, whether it's your English, your math, your history, every course on the campus that uses a Cengage publishing book, then you automatically have access to those textbooks. You don't have to keep purchasing textbooks. Now, those textbooks will be e-text. They won't be actual physical copies of the book. But in this particular course, um, for CPT 270, it's actually two textbooks that will be used, and these two textbooks come together. We have intermediate and advanced. So if you decide that I want to have a book in hand, because for the homework, if you're trying to do your homework and follow the instructions on the from the e-text on the screen, and you only have one screen, it'll probably be hard switching back and forth between the windows, actually performing a task and then reading, and you only have one monitor, and you probably say, well, I would rather have a textbook in my hand. Then what you can do, once you have a subscription, then you can get a rental copy of the book, and you only pay shipping, and you would pay shipping. The shipping price is $7.99. You would get it from Cengage. It'll be $70.99 for each book. Okay, so you're looking at about $16 for both of these books. Now these will be rentals, and this is only if you decide that you want to have a book in your hand outside of the e-text. Now you cannot just say, well, I'm not going to get a subscription, I'm just going to go and rent the book. If you try to do that, the books are like 70 something dollars. So this only gives you that free access to the printed book and paying the shipping once you have a subscription. Okay, now you could get the subscription two ways. You could go to the bookstore and you could give them you could tell them you want to get the Cengage Unlimited, or you may already have Cengage Unlimited from a previous course or another course. And if you some of the CPT 270 students, if you have taken CPT 170 that uses Cengage as well, and if you purchase the year subscription and you've taken 170 within a year, then your subscription is still good and you don't need to purchase anything else. You just have to just get access to the e-text, which will already be there for you. But if this is your first time using Cengage, or it's been over a year if you purchased a year subscription, or it's been over a semester if you purchased a semester subscription, then you would need to purchase a new subscription. Okay, so again, you can get the subscription from the bookstore. They're going to ask you, what do you want, the semester or do you want it for the year? They also have it for 2 years. Okay, now most of my students in CPT 270 are management students, marketing students. They don't too much use Cengage, so I would suggest getting the 2 years. Okay. Uh, Now you also can purchase the subscription directly from Cengage. If you do, you can just click here, the link here, for Cengage Unlimited. Gonna take you to the Cengage site, and then you can purchase it straight from them. Now, if you decide to purchase it from Cengage, you do need to have your credit card. It's taking a little while to load. Okay, let me just scroll down here. And this is the one you want. Make sure you choose this one for 4 months, which is a semester. Do not choose this one because this is just the text only. Doesn't give you access to the homework platform. And you need to be able to do your weekly homework, which will be your trainers and your graders, and also to be able to take your unit exams and your final exams. So you will need this one, okay? And you would just click on it It'll ask you for your information, your card information. Now, if I click on it, it's going to give me something else. I'm already a user, okay? But this is where you would click if you want to purchase it and you have a credit card directly from Pearson. Once you have, and then it'll ask you to set up your account. Once you have your Cengage account set up, um, and it's time to now start back doing the homework, you do not need to go back into Cengage to do your homework because it won't let you do it from there. What you need to do is come back to Blackboard. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click on course content. Now, this first link, this is a link that will take you straight out to the Cengage course. Anytime, if you haven't used Cengage before, the first time you click on the Cengage link, which are this little blue and light blue link here, it's going to prompt you for your credentials the first time. And this gives you an opportunity to put your access code in, set up your user account. But if that's already set up, you click on here, it'll take you straight out to the, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And it's going to take me to my Cengage site. And I'll see a list of my unit folders. Just waiting for it to load here. And within each unit folder, you'll see your chapter folder. This welcome to the course, just information that's graded here. Just getting you familiar. If it's been a while since you've taken CPT170, you'll go in and see how you can look at file management, get started with Microsoft Office, and just some resources there, okay? But here are your actual folders here. In this course, we will have 3 chapters in Word. It's actually 6 chapters in Excel. So we'll have Excel part 1, Excel part 2, and then there is 3 chapters in Access. We do not use PowerPoint in this course. So you can go here. I'm just going to click underneath Word, and you'll see the 3 chapters in Word, and then you'll see the unit tests for Word covering these 3 chapters. In each chapter here, you have a copy of the e-text, the instructions for the book, okay? But you don't have to always click on this. This is just for reading, because when you click on the textbook project, it's gonna automatically give you the files you need and the instructions for this chapter, okay? Now this is if you decide to go straight out from Blackboard and just click on this particular link here, and it gives you access to the whole book and all the chapter folder. But it's easier to do it this way. You know, you can always come back here. I've already broken it down for you by each unit, each folder. So let's say I click on unit 1. And in unit 1, I have my Word modules. Here you'll see there's a Word engagement activity that I want you to do. In this particular part, because when you take your unit, do your assignments in your unit, it's all hands-on. There's no questions, there are no true false. It's just hands-on activity. So in this part, what I've had is once you're ready to take your unit exam, when the unit exam is due, there's also a Word activity engagement where you just basically just going in and putting in maybe 3 concepts or 3 terms or combination of both of information you learned from the text, and then also pose a question, some questions for other students to answer as well, and then go in and answer someone else's question. So it just won't be, so it's not like me putting the questions on the test. This is you presenting what you already know and adding that, and then prompting another student for asking them for information about what they do. This gives you some terminology that you could add on your own, and then you would turn this discussion in when it's time to do your unit exam. So let's go ahead and click on Word Unit Module 5. You have an overview of what will be covered and the objectives in this particular chapter. Then you'll see the task, what you would need to do, okay? And here is a link. This is just the textbook again on this end of Blackboard, where you can click on it and it'll take you directly to the e-text for chapter 5. But again, if you just want to read it, you can read it. But if you're ready to work on it, then what you could do is just click on the textbook project. Because when you click on the textbook project, it's automatically going to bring up a link to the textbook, and you're going to follow through to the textbook. Also, which I'm going to show you, is all the files that you need. So when you're reading your instructions in the textbook, and if you just take the book or look at the e-text that says download these files, you're like, okay, where are these files supposed to be? That's why we want you to come here. Everything is set up for you. So when you click on the textbook project, which are files you're going to download, and then follow the instructions, and you'll get the instructions as well. And You work on the project, and when you're done, you're going to submit it back up, and the system will grade it. You also have training. Now, the training is a training simulation, which is done inside of Cengage. You do not need to download anything. So it's going to take place within that environment. And so it'll be right there. The instructions will be right there with it. But let's go ahead and click on the textbook project. So this is what I want you to do when it's time to do your homework. Come into Blackboard, go to course content, go down to the unit that you're working on for that week, click on the chapter folder for that week, and then click textbook project. When I click on this link, it's going to automatically go out to Cengage. I don't have to browse through Cengage and look for the assignment. It's going to automatically go directly to that assignment. And when that assignment come up, everything I need to do this assignment with will be here. Okay. So here's a little note just to let you know. It let you know that you have to use the start file, which means you're not going to start with a blank file that you just going to open up Word, or when it's time to do Excel, open up Excel. No, you have to use the file that it's going to download for you. And sometimes when you download a file, it could very well be a blank file. And some students like, well, I download the file and there's nothing here. Okay, but the format is already set up in that file. So you do not open up a blank document on your own. You use the start file that you're gonna download. And I'm gonna show you that in a little when I hit the start button. It also gives you a warning. It says this project is not compatible with Mac. Now, let me tell you, up front, even though you get that message, what we have found that most students have Mac, they're fine. They can do this project. I guess it depends on what version of Mac that you use. Because it wasn't tested with Mac, it doesn't let us know that. It just say that it's not compatible. Now, I've had several students who use their Mac who have not had any problem. Once in a blue moon, I've had a student that says, well, I can't work with these with this on the Mac. And so it depends on if you have an older version of Mac, but it should work for you. Okay. So if you do run into a problem, then you would have to use a Windows system or find someone with a Windows system. But 9 times out of 10, most of the time, the people are fine. Okay. And then you're just going to click start. And once you click start, here is the instructions. Here's the instructions. Okay. And here is the start file. Now notice that the start file is already titled and it has my name. So based on you accessing or logging into Cengage from Blackboard and linking to it, it automatically knows that it's you and it puts your name in there. So this is the file that it wants you to use. So you can't open up, I'm just gonna go ahead and download that file. Okay. And anytime you download a file off the internet, by default, it's going to be, if you don't specify the location, by default, it's going to download into my download folder. And we'll go to that. So I download the file. And here are the instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the instructions, which is the e-text for chapter 5. Now, if you have your pop-up blocker on, you need to turn it off so that this will open. And it starts out and it tells me step 1. It says start Word and open up this document. Well, I'm not going to really start Word and open up this document because I've already downloaded. So I could just go to that file. And remember I told you it's in the download folder. I'm just going to click here. Bring this over here. I click the little folder, my download folder. I'm going to go to download. And there's that file that I downloaded. See, this is the file with the date. So I'm just going to double click that to open it. It opened on my other screen. Let me bring it over here. I'm gonna click enable editing, and here's the file that I need to start working on. Let me bring it back over here. So here's the file that I need to start working on for my textbook project. And I'm just gonna minimize it. And I'm gonna go back to my instructions. Okay. And it's showing me, it asks me, it tells me to save the file as this, and then drag. And so you just go through and you follow the instructions. Hit next. I know some people probably say, okay, I know to hit next, but I have had people who have got in here to page 1. They like, I can't find my other instructions. Just hit next. It'll to ask you go to the next step, how to modify uh, the page margin. It'll go through and tell you how to do it. Now, you at any time, you can also go here and you can see here are the table of contents, the steps that you're going to be doing or the section you're going to be working on. I'm just going to go back and click on 2 and it takes me right back there. Okay. So this is how you would do your project. Now, remember I told you while we're here, I'm going to show you. Oh, let me just go ahead and show you this one thing here, and then I'll show you how to submit it. I haven't really done anything, but remember I told you that if you want to rent the book so you don't have to keep reading back on the screen, then see here it says rental option. Go ahead and click on it. You could search, you could put in the ISBN number here. It'll bring up the book. So what I'm gonna do, let me just minimize it. Let me go back here and I'm gonna go to the announcement so I can copy and paste. I want to get that book. Well, what I'm gonna do, guys, because I see I didn't put it here, I'm gonna go back because this is the ISBN number if you want to get a subscription. But whatever the ISBN number for each one of these books, you put it in, it'll bring it up. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the name in there because I don't have the. Let's see, let's bring that back up. I'm just gonna search by and do search. And the one that we're gonna use, remember I said there's 2 of them. And again, I'm gonna go back and put it in there. We're gonna use the advanced and the intermediate illustrated. So illustrated Office 3, this one, and the one for the advanced. But for me, it's gonna be different. But let's say I click on that, it gives me the resource because I'm instructive. Where for you, it's gonna ask you for your mailing address because it's gonna need a place to send it. And you'll fill in your mailing address. It'll tell you 7 to 10 days shipping because that's the standard shipping time. You do need to have your credit card. It's $7.99 again for each book. We have 2 books here. Okay. Now let's say that you are finished working on, you completed all the steps in the project, and now it's time for you to upload the project. Let's go ahead and click on Browse Files, and I know that it's in my download. And I'm gonna go back and get this file. Now I haven't followed the instructions, so let me just go ahead and click on this, and I got an error. It says, no, the file that I'm expecting, the name should be this. Because in the instruction, it asked me to rename the file, but I didn't. I just showed you how to get there, and I haven't done any instructions. So let me go back. The file name should be, let's see. I'm just gonna copy this. So I'm not. Let me close out of it because it's not gonna let me rename the file while it's still open. So I'm just going to rename this file. Now I'm going to upload it and let me browse the file. And now it's attached. So if the file name is not correct, you're gonna get a file error. And now I can submit it. Notice it says I have 5 of 5 submission because each grader and also the trainer, you can submit it up to 5 times and take the highest grade before the due date. So I'm gonna submit it. And then I'm gonna look at my grade report, which I know I'm not gonna score well. So I've done anything. And I'm gonna open up and it's also downloaded in the download folder. So I got 0 out of 0. It's telling me everything I didn't do. So I missed everything because I didn't do it. Okay. So you could go in, find your corrections, make your corrections, and then resubmit it. Okay. So that is it, guys. Just wanted to share that with you so you can get started. Remember your first week of class, you need to go ahead and send me your contact information and take that little short syllabus quiz. And then you're going to jump into doing your chapter 5 word assignment. That'll be it. And if you guys have any other questions, then you guys can give me a call or either, well, I said call, but I mean email me. Email me is the best way to contact me. Go ahead and stop this and stop